Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 50 of Quattroporte, the review series for Gran Turismo's selection of four-door performance cars, super saloons, sports sedans, that kind of thing. And one of the great things about sedans or saloons that I have mentioned before is that pretty much more so than any other performance category, there's more of an opportunity to have sleeper cars within the saloon class. There really are a lot of them. More so in real life than on the game, of course, but even on the game, there are a surprising amount of sleeper cars which are available within the sedan class. And I would say that to some degree, this is one of those vehicles. Now, as far as sleepers go, this is a pretty nice looking one. So it's not as much of a sleeper as, say, a Lexus GS300, which really is a complete sleeper, wouldn't catch anyone's attention. This car is a bit more stylish. It's nicely designed, it's a good looking car, it's also a premium, and there are some body modifications that can be done to it. So it's a little bit more eye-catching, but at the same time it's quite a street level vehicle, and by that I don't just mean it's a road car, I mean it's very much the kind of car that you could easily see a lot, dependent of course on where you live, but it's a car which isn't difficult to see on the road. That being said, I do really love this car personally on the game. Now, I don't use it all the time, but there are very few cars which I do use all the time. This car, however, is, I would say, a very good lower to mid-grade sedan. Sports sedan, specifically, and it's the Mazda Atenza, or the Mazda 6, where it's called some places, 25S, the 2007 shape model. Now, it's got a 2.5 litre turbo engine, it's front-wheel drive, which isn't too surprising given that most slightly lower level sports sedans are, or at least tend to be, front-wheel drive. And its fully tuned spec is pretty good. It's not going to worry something like a BMW M5 anytime soon, but it's good, perhaps a little bit more powerful than you may expect. 434 horsepower, peak tune, which isn't bad at all. 337 foot-pounds of torque, and it's quite light because the car isn't overly small and it doesn't necessarily look that light. It doesn't necessarily look heavy either, but it certainly doesn't look like a lightweight vehicle. 1205 kilos though is not bad at all. As far as horsepower per tonne, it puts out a decent but unsurprisingly not overly high 360, and the fully tuned PP is 520. And you get all of that for a price of just over 26,000 credits, which is really good value, because not only is it a full premium, but it's also a relatively new model on the game. So, as far as models go with that kind of spec, 26 grand is quite a lot cheaper than you'd probably assume it would be. I would personally have expected at least 35 grand, maybe up to 45. So, it's pretty well priced. The question is, though, what can it do? Because, of course, you don't see many people using the car, and when you do, it tends to be in, say, lower-level PP lobbies or cruise lobbies. Well, the performance is very good, and it's one of the reasons why I like this car. The straight-line performance in particular, especially for its power and for the price, is good. Now, the top speed is nowhere near, of course, the fastest of the sedan class, but it is very good. Over 210 miles per hour under its own power. The acceleration is not necessarily face-rippingly quick, but decent enough. Off the line, of course, not so much due to the front-wheel drive. The handling is very good, very beginner-friendly, easy to drive, smooth, and although it has a little bit of weight to the steering due to the front-wheel drive predominantly, overall it handles itself very well. It's nimble enough to be competitive, and quick enough in a straight line, especially for its power, to be useful. Now, I wouldn't recommend racing it at 520 pp purely because you can get quicker, better cars at that level. For lower PP levels though, and perhaps for stuff like low-level touring car builds, that kind of thing, it's potentially pretty good for that. It handles well, it's a good enough all-round package, definitely to win races under the right circumstances, and obviously I wouldn't recommend it as a car to rely on all the time because it's just not that kind of vehicle. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, something that's not as obvious a choice, something that maybe you wouldn't think of first, but at the same time is a capable car. This is a good choice for that, because it's a car which many people don't use at all, a car in fact which many people don't even own on the game, but at the same time one which can, with the right tune at the right PP level and on the right track, really serve you well. But that's it overall for this particular pick. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.